Snowflakes falling big and round, twinkling lights choking out the sound. Candy canes and gingerbread, the smell of Christmas makes me see red. Santa hats on every head, I wanna burn them, leave them all for dead. Oh, it's Christmas, what a drag! Tinsel dreams in a plastic bag. The joy, the cheer, it's all pretend. Come on, let's go piss off your friends. Shiny bows on every gift make my teeth ache. Skating rinks and snowy drift feel so fake. Hot cocoa spills on frozen ground. The carolers sing, I just want them drowned. Deck the halls, yeah, deck them with rage. Rip the script, tear up the stage. Silent night now, scream it loud. Flip the slate, crush the crowd. It's Christmas, here we go. Fake smiles under mistletoe. The lights, the bells, it's all a scam. Come on, let's go ruin the fam. Snow keeps falling, bury it deep. This town's joy is a promise I won't keep. Christmas is here, yeah. Yeah, go ahead and cheer. I'll be outside smashing reindeer. Oh, it's Christmas, what a drag. Tinsel dreams in a plastic bag. The joy, the cheer, it's all pretend. Come on, let's go piss off your friends. Oh, it's Christmas, here we go. Fake smiles under mistletoe. The lights, the bells, it's all a scam. Come on, let's go ruin the fam. Snow keeps falling, bury it deep. This town's joy is a promise I won't keep. Christmas is here, yeah. Go ahead and cheer. I'll be outside smashing reindeer.
Tiny feet go pitter-patter down the snow-lit halls, checking names and checking twice behind those candy walls. Naughty sneaks and nice daydreamers written big and small. I'm the Christmas elf, I'm on the case, looking for the grins on every face. Naughty or nice, I see it all. I'm the Christmas elf who hears your call. Glitter, dust, and peppermint swirl in my little sack. One for joy and one for kindness, always got your back. Snowflakes dance and whisper secrets as I make my track. Santa's list is long and wild, but I know every single child. I'm the Christmas elf, I'm on the case, looking for the grins on every face. Naughty or nice, I see it all. I'm the Christmas elf who hears your call. Oops, a giggle caught my ear. Was it mischief or good cheer? Spill the cocoa, tell me quick. Are you clever or a trick? I'm the Christmas elf, I'm on the case, looking for the grins on every face. Christmas elf who hears your call. Come on in, crystal's here, let's begin. No time for that fake stuff. Diamond in the rough, we dive in, nose wide. Real talk, hit it hard, opinions raw and real. Crime talk, that's the deal. Crystal's crime conversations, real talk, no hesitations. Crystal's crime conversations, fun around raw, all sensations. Welcome, come on in, fun and raw, all sensations. Let's go.
For the past several days, Union head football coach Travis Turner is now considered a fugitive. We've learned just in the last little bit from Virginia State Police, charges have been filed in the investigation. We're going to read those to you right now. According to Virginia State Police, 10 warrants have been obtained for Turner. He's wanted on 5 counts of child pornography, 5 counts of using a computer to solicit a minor. We're also told by investigators of the Virginia State Police that more charges are pending. Virginia State Police and local authorities are actively searching for Travis Turner right now. Again, he is at this point considered a fugitive with these criminal charges filed against him. We'll give you a little bit of background about this story we've been following now for the past several days. The search began last week when we're told Virginia State Police investigators were on their way to his home in an early part of an investigation. But at that time, state police telling us they were not going there to arrest him. They were wanting to talk with him, a part of that investigation. He was last seen on Thursday. But as of this morning, Travis Turner, the head football coach from Union High School, is now considered a fugitive from justice, facing 10 charges filed against him, all related to child pornography and solicitation of children. We also know from the Wise County school system that one employee has been suspended with pay, but they have never identified who that employee is. Our Liam Bridgman is back in Wise County today. We are continuing to follow the very latest on this story. We'll have Liam with us here live at the top of the hour in our noon newscast, but we wanted to get on the air with you here this morning and give you that update on a story that's developing a lot of attention here locally and even outside of our region. We will continue to follow the very latest in the search now for fugitive Travis Turner in this investigation. We'll have that for you as more details become available. We'll have, of course, here on the air and also online, News 5 WCYB and our WCYB.com. For now, we're going to let you go back to regular programming, but wanted to let you know the latest update in that investigation. We'll see you here at the top of the hour for News 5.
A father, husband, and an all-star high school football coach is missing right now. And some of the speculation around his disappearance has sent a small Virginia town reeling. What was supposed to be a triumphant trip to the playoffs has instead turned into a hunt for answers. We're on the case presented by Law and Crime. I'm Chris Stewart. All right, guys, before we get into this story, let's talk about the free app Upside. It gets you cash back on daily essentials like gas and groceries. It is free and it is easy. I like to use it here's what you do. Download the app Gap, Virginia. This is a place that's very much small town USA. I've actually been there. This is a town, it's about 5,000 people. It's tucked into the hills of Appalachia in between the borders of Kentucky and Tennessee. This is an area that for generations has lived off the coal industry. It has several churches, a historical museum, and a high school football team that this season is dominating on the field. The Union High School Bears are undefeated this season, and they're on their way to the Virginia High School League Class II state championship. But right now, overshadowing the team's success on the field is a desperate search for their head coach. 46-year-old Travis Turner was apparently last seen on Thursday, November 20th. This is according to Virginia State Police. Agents from VSP were reportedly en route to Turner's home to talk to him about some sort of active investigation, but they were called off when they learned that Turner wasn't at home. VSP told media outlet News Channel 11 that they were not going to Turner's house to arrest him, but they just wanted to talk to him. But details surrounding why they wanted to speak with Turner is still very murky. And we dug into this story, and here's what we've learned. The Virginia State Police Missing Persons Database lists Turner as an official missing person out of Wise County, Virginia. Now, the info states that he was last seen wearing a gray sweatshirt, gray sweatpants, and glasses. On Friday, the day after Turner vanished, Wise County Public Schools announced that an employee within the district had been placed on administrative leave. They did not identify the person involved, but as you can imagine, there is rampant speculation that it was Coach Turner. The New York Post reports that the district released the following statement, quote, "A staff member has been placed on administrative leave with pay while an external agency reviews an allegation that was reported to the division. This is standard procedure and not a determination of wrongdoing. This situation also involves an active law enforcement matter and the division cannot comment further," end quote. So here's what we know about Coach Turner. We know that he helped
So what they're saying is this man went missing. They placed the missing persons report the day prior. The following day, going into the day, the school releases somebody's been placed on administrative leave. But they didn't give the coach's name. The community was speculating it was this coach. Turns out it was. I would have probably thought, was it somebody who made the coach disappear? However, I'm sure they were relieved to find out it was just the coach they were searching for within that community. But this, if he's out in the wild, he won't last long. It's getting cold. Yeah, we've said that about many others. Look how long Laundry went missing, and that guy that escaped the prison here in Pennsylvania was gone for what, months? Let's hope, because this guy's a sicko. He's really gross, and I'd like to know what end of the CP he was on. Did he make it? Did he attain it? To me, it sounds like he made it. I don't know. I'm going to keep my ears open. Today's a case study, much like we did last week when we covered Renesmee. This week, I think we're going to cover this football coach and see where it goes. All right.
Actually launched the football program at Union High School in 2011. That happened after two local Wise County schools were consolidated into one. He's been the head coach ever since then, and they've had a lot of success. According to family updates on Facebook, Turner's adult son also helps out on the sidelines. The team's assistant coach, Jay Edwards, has since taken over the coaching duties for the Bears because Coach Turner's missing. On Saturday, despite the worries about what may have happened to Coach Turner,
and to think that this man could be a coach, how many children? What exactly are these charges? Who are the children? I'm going to have to, I didn't really study this yet. Your dad was from Weiss. It's a beautiful area. That whole, all of us are. Moonshine, it's not far from me. We're all like, it's probably the middle, going, well, a little further, probably 4 hours from me. Where you're at, it's only 6 hours from me, I believe. You know, we're all Appalachia up here, and the mountains are just gorgeous all over the area. But it's so much crime because you can hide so much in the mountains where the trees are. Like Miss Linda said that I shared earlier, you know, what happens in the mountains stays in the mountains, or in Ben Hill, Beach Creek. She said they drag them up in the mountains and hide them. They made moonshine. All the people we've been talking about for 2 years. But to think that this guy could be a football coach, how many children was he around? And he has an adult son. Is his adult son an offender? Because was he offended growing up? This is sick. It's disgusting. The officials we trust our children with.
just a couple days after he vanished, the Bears continued to win. They shut out their opponent and they advanced to the playoffs. But Virginia State Police's Bureau of Criminal Investigation has had agents combing the area near Turner's home. Now, again, this is part of the country that is very rural. And it's an area where there are a lot of mountains. You're in Appalachia. It's a very difficult place to be able to search if you're looking for one person. The cliche needle in a haystack may apply here. Over the weekend, John Day, who is an agent with Virginia State Police, told News Channel 11 this, quote, "We've had the drones up in the air looking, searching. We tried to get the State Police Aviation, but they were unable to fly yesterday because of the weather. We've had canine units, bloodhounds from local departments, sheriff's office here, and Wise State Police dogs into the woods searching, the local area of last known place where Mr. Turner may have been or had been seen." Authorities have not released any details about their investigation that's allegedly connected to Turner, but social media, it's been on fire with rumors and speculation. And we're going to tell you about some of those rumors online. And these are rumors that you can easily search for on social media. And we want to be clear before we talk about them, because these are just rumors at this point, just speculation. They have not been confirmed by police or by investigators. So let's dive into it. According to multiple unconfirmed and unidentified sources, at least 2 teens have accused Turner of inappropriate contact. A social media page called Scanner Food that monitors police dispatch did share audio of deputies searching for someone on Thursday night, with reports coming in of a person walking into the woods with a gun. However, there is no confirmation from officials that the person that allegedly went into the woods with a gun was Turner. News Channel 11 reports that Coach Turner's wife wrote in a now deleted Facebook post, quote, "Travis is missing and that's all we know. We love him and need him here with us. Thank you to everyone who has reached out with love and support. It means more than you know. Just keep praying that he comes home." So that was on Friday night, roughly 24 hours after he went missing on Thursday evening. Now, anyone with information about Coach Turner or where he may be is asked to call Virginia State Police. The number 540-444-7788. We also want to be clear. This may be a very small part of Virginia that many people haven't been to, but it's not the first time that there's been a search or a manhunt, depending on how you look at it, for a Big Stone Gap, Virginia resident. Many locals are bringing up the disappearance of a man named Eric Jones after he allegedly murdered his ex-wife. Jones is accused of shooting Janina Jefferson during the Thanksgiving holiday weekend in 2016, and he has never been found. Investigators told News Channel 11 that he ambushed Janina at the Town of Appalachia water treatment plant, where she was working the night shift alone. He had previously threatened to kill her multiple times, according to the sheriff's office, and Jones has a lengthy criminal record, including a count of attempted murder for hire, as well as firearms and drug charges. Now, while we don't know exactly what's been going on in Coach Turner's life, locals have pointed to Jones's disappearance as proof that it's not hard to disappear into the hills of Appalachia. Joining us now is someone who knows a lot about.
That's what Miss Linda said about Rogersville. But you know what? That's what I was just going to say. Like, how do we know he'll ever be found? Did he know the land? Does he know the land well? Is he from that area? Has he been there a very long time? Are more children at risk with him not being able to be found? Can he lure more children? That's a scary thought. His charges are scary. And the fact that he could just run over something like that, why not just turn yourself in? Is it embarrassment because he got caught? Is he going to unalive himself? What is going to happen with this case? Ain't Dolly from that area too? Why aren't they covering this?
What it takes to conduct searches like the one that we're seeing play out in Southwest Virginia right now. Billy Lane, private criminal defense investigator, founder of We Are the Essentials, which we'll talk about in just a moment. It's always great to have you on Law and Crime. Based on what we know about Coach Turner and what law enforcement is working with, what stands out to you?
The fact that he left days before law enforcement got there. I think this shows that maybe he was made aware of a potential criminal investigation, maybe from his job, maybe from the school, maybe somebody from the school had called him in to discuss this potential scenario playing out, and maybe he read the writing on the wall and realize that this may be detrimental to his career, to his family life, and he may have taken the opportunity to leave his home and go into the woods.
This happened so it's been 5 days at the time we're recording this. It was Thursday night, November 20th, that he disappeared or was last seen. What does it take for someone, if he's still, and hate to be morbid here, but it's the reality of it, if he's still alive and he's in the woods, I mean, what does it take to survive this long?
Well, people who live in those type of areas understand they camp, hunt up there. A lot of hunters will go out there and just hunt right there in the woods and camp out in the woods. So it really depends on his background. And as an investigator doing We Are the Essentials search and recovery investigators, we try to meet with the family and talk about these things. How experienced is he in the woods? How experienced is he? A hunter? Is he not a hunter? Can he go up there and survive? So there are a lot of things. And then the other question is there any camera footage? I know we say we've seen him go into these wooded or the hill area near his home, but was there any video showing him carrying? Evidently, there's some rumors that he might have been carrying a weapon, but was he carrying a backpack? Was he carrying any supplies with him up there? Is there a base camp up there? Is there places where they go hunting that he may be going to and could potentially survive for several days and wait it out to sort of see what happens? I would assume he more likely does not have a phone, or they would be able to ping that. So he may not be off the grid. He may not understand the magnitude of this search that's going on right now for him. He may have no idea. He's just up there. And like you said, this could be not a very nice situation. He could cause self-harm to himself. And that might have already taken place. And we pray not. We pray that he's still in a window of reflection where he's thinking about what's going on and contemplating his life. And maybe law enforcement will be able to locate him before things take a turn for the worse.
Right. And, again, we'll just keep saying, he hasn't been officially accused of anything publicly. I mean, we know that there was this investigation that was going on with an employee of the school, but they're not saying it was him. And I know people will hear that and be like, well, obviously it was him, but we don't know, at this point. Maybe there is an explanation for everything. Wise County, Virginia, southwest part of that state, very rural area. These are coal mining towns, kind of tucked into the mountains. How difficult of a search area is it when you're dealing with a landscape like that?
Oh, it's very, very challenging because the elevation alone, you're dealing with mountains, where here in Florida, with We Are the Essentials, we deal with flatland, typically swamps and overgrown wooded areas. Up there, you're dealing with tough terrain. You're dealing with a lot of animals out there, bears and everything else that wants to eat you. So as you can imagine, the law enforcement are utilizing resources such as choppers, drones. But the other issue is that those are great tools. But if you get under brush cover, under trees, and even when using thermal, it's going to be very challenging to locate you. Now, worst case scenario, if he had caused self-harm, there might not be a heat signal coming from the body still to identify, even with the thermal drones or the chopper having a thermal system in it itself. So at that point, you have to go in there on foot. Now, I know that they're using dogs. Dogs are great tools. There again, that's a tool. But to really find people, like we always say, we have to go where others do not go, where others won't go. And in this scenario, he might have gone deep into the woods because he did choose to harm himself, and he does not want anybody to find him. So it could be very challenging. This man appears to be physically fit. He's a coach, athletic coach. More likely could have walked or hiked for miles.
Man, but he also could have came out of the woods at an exit, making people think he went into the woods where nobody was paying attention. And he is an RSO. And the fact that he could run, for me, that's scary. You don't know what neighborhood he's in, or would he take a hostage? I mean, I'm not saying that's the case. The latter probability is probably the self-harm. However, there's still a chance that other things can happen. I think the community needs answers. It's probably extremely rural. A lot of less people in that area. I'm betting it's a lot close to Tynesta, Pennsylvania, up by Lake Erie. That's what it looks like to me.
Up in there. And depending on how soon they actually started their search, which was several days into it, appears to be, he had a 2-day lead on them.
Oh, and I think too, like very, very different case, but a search in a vast area with really tough terrain. Travis Decker out west, who killed his 3 daughters, but he took his own life. According to the FBI, it took them months to be able to find him, and it's unclear specifically when he took his life, but for a long time, there was part of you that's like, this guy was in the military. Does he just have the tools and the tactics to outrun the FBI and all these different agencies? But he may have just been dead the entire time. How difficult is it to find someone? How difficult is it to find a body compared to someone who may still be alive?
Well, when a person's alive, they're constantly moving. For the most part, when they've taken their life, if they're no longer with us, they're not moving. So actually a recovery is much easier than a rescue because that individual is still constantly moving around if they're alive. Constantly trying to evade you if they are trying to do that. Brian Laundrie is another one. It took them quite some time to locate his body here in Florida. We were involved, and that was one of our initial searches that we began with. That's how We Are the Essential started. So it's difficult to begin with because you're using lots of resources and you're trying to put together the picture of what's going on here. Not only this could potentially be a criminal investigation because there could be some potential criminal charges here. And I know that they said, oh, we just wanted to talk to him. We weren't there to arrest him. Well, talking is the first portion before the arrest occurs because you're developing probable cause, you're interviewing him. There could have been some things that might have led to an arrest during that talking phase of law enforcement. So I would take that for a grain of salt. I believe that they're trying to present the best case scenario here. And the fact is that this is a small town and he is a very popular coach, a winning season, so I think that a lot of people look up to him and this could potentially impact his family life and his career and just totally embarrass him. So you have to wonder what goes through a person's mind at that point. Are they going to lose everything in their life, their family, their career, and potentially their freedom?
Well, and part of it too, there was the scanner traffic, and all of this is unconfirmed. There's a lot of media reports. Just kind of give a disclaimer on that there was a man seen going into the woods that was carrying a gun of some kind. And if the reports are true, where he was the center of this investigation, certainly a small town, everybody knows everybody, the shame, this embarrassment, if he goes out there to hurt himself, that's one part of it. And we don't know his background. We don't know what he's like behind closed doors. The other part of it is, if he was accused of something, is there an anger and he's carrying a weapon and he goes into the woods? I mean, for people who are searching in these types of cases, even if one may seem more probable than the other, like how do you prepare for, and at this point, this is just a missing persons search. It's not a manhunt, but at the same time, you hear that piece of information. What goes through your mind as you're taking part in a search?
I'm not saying F his family at all. You got to feel bad for the children and the wife and grandchildren. I'm going to bet because he has adult children. However, you have to remember, we just heard there was 2 high school victims, boys from the football team. But I think that I heard there was CP on his computer, so I could be wrong. So let's keep listening, but I think there's a little more to this. This video we're watching was 2 days ago. We're going to go on. I have 3 more videos, short ones, and then we're going to move on to something really funny. And then I'm going to cover another missing person. It's been missing from Tennessee from around the time Summer went missing, but closer to Sebastian's area.
Well, you have a potential armed individual in the woods is what you have. As a law enforcement officer, if you have reason to believe that he may be a suspect in a criminal investigation, now he has a potential to cause harm to law enforcement officers before they get there. And unfortunately, if a person want to harm themselves, they have no reason not to want to harm others, if that makes sense. As a law enforcement officer, you have to consider that. So any self-harm scenarios could be potentially harmful to the officers themselves before that scenario plays out. I would say if he depends on what type of weapon he took into the area, would make a difference in my mind of whether it's a self-harm scenario or if he went up to the woods to barricade himself in to sort of like hold himself out so he wouldn't get in trouble in whatever fantasy he was playing out in his mind that he could actually accomplish this would depend on what type of weapon that he took up there, what type of weapons he had available, how many weapons he took, did he take ammunition, is there a tent up there, was he able to maintain some type of base camp up there. And the other thing you have to consider, which I would think would be potentially a high probability, is that these sheriffs and detectives more than likely grew up in that area and more than likely knows this area and more likely hunted up there. They more likely know all about this area. So they are more likely the best type of individuals to go up there and locate him. So there's a lot that has to play out here. These types of searches are searches that we would become involved in because, you know, it's a potential recovery. It's a ground search. But the fact is that potentially there's somebody that might be armed, that might have a criminal element to them. So these are all things that are considered when you have to do this, whether you be law enforcement or a search and recovery organization like ourselves.
Because I also think too, just looking at this landscape and how vast it is, and if he has this head start by 2 days, and his wife had posted on, it's about 24 hours later, it's a deleted Facebook post just talking about how he was missing at this point. How do you figure out how wide of an area you're looking for someone if the last thing you may know is that he just walked into the woods?
For us, we go on a 2-mile radius. That's where we start at. Anything in a half a mile, no stone is left unturned. Up to 2 miles out. Now, if somebody's athletic, if somebody goes out and runs and walks every day, that's a different story. That could spread out to 3 to 5 miles at that point. So, and the other thing you have to consider is how many days lead do they have on you? This gentleman had 2 days leads on law enforcement. That's a whole different scenario as well. But the unfortunate part is that sometimes when people want to cause harm to themselves, they go to a location where they can feel like nobody will find them, and then they do the deed, unfortunately. Sometimes that's right away. And like I said, sometimes they consider their options at that point. But most of the times, once they build up their motivation, isn't long before they're no longer with us.
How common is it where if things line up with where the speculation is that he was going to be the center of this investigation, there's embarrassment to him, his family, you know, all of that. I mean, major life crisis for him during a time when he was, you know, seemingly beloved in the community. He'd been the football coach at the school since 2011, and they're, you know, having this great.
That's a long time to be a coach. Oh my God, are there other children? Is there something going on behind the scenes? I hope if there is, other children will come forward. Are there other coaches involved? Who knew about it? Was it hidden? I have a million questions. Sounds like they had a heads up. Yeah, how do you get the heads up? How do you know they're coming to get you? Get the hell out of here. The reporter had a really good question. Was he carrying a knapsack? Did he have anything with him? That would show intention to live, not to want to unalive himself. Wow. And that's a long time to be a coach. I'm going to move on. This clip's almost over. Okay, so this one was 1 day ago. This was yesterday.
The search for Travis Turner has stretched into its 7th day as Virginia State Police are still working to find the Union High School football coach who is now considered to be a fugitive. That's our top story this afternoon. Thanks for joining us. I'm Ansley Daniel. Here's what we know so far. Turner is charged with 5 counts of possession of child pornography and 5 counts of using a computer to solicit a minor. He's been missing since Thursday when VSP agents were sent to his home as part of an investigation. On Saturday, VSP confirmed Turner's ties to Union High School and Wise County Public Schools told us that coaching had been shifted for that day's game. On Sunday, VSP officially listed Turner as a missing person, and yesterday, police announced the 10 charges that he's wanted on, calling him a fugitive. News Channel 11's Casey Marler has spent the day there in Wise County. Now, Casey, where do things stand in the search for Turner?
Well, we spoke with VSP today. They released a statement as well as the Wise County Sheriff's Department, and there is no new information when it comes to the disappearance and the search for head coach Travis Turner. I'm going to broaden the perspective, take a bit of a step back, and bring you here into Southwest Virginia and kind of explain the geography of what we're talking about here. This is, after all, a football story. Travis Turner is the Union High School football coach. Now, it begins with the difference between Appalachia and the former Powell Valley High School. Union is a consolidated school between these two, and they are very close together. On the map, you can see the former Appalachia High School and the former Powell Valley High School are just a couple of miles apart. And once upon a time, this was one of the most bitter rivalries in all of high school football. 2011, the two schools merged, became Union High School. When it comes to Appalachia and Appalachia High School football, the name Turner is synonymous with that school. In its heyday, Travis Turner was the quarterback of 3 state championship teams at Appalachia High School. He played under his father, the legendary Tom Turner, who is a Hall of Famer in the state of Virginia. So this is a name that is synonymous with football and success, rivalries, and togetherness through really the last half century. And that brings us to today, where we're here at Bullitt Park. The search continues for Travis Turner. As Ansley mentioned, he hasn't been seen since last Thursday. And there's still a football game to be played. You can actually see beyond my shoulder here, they're finishing up painting the field for Saturday's game. They've striped the brand new numbers. The game is this Saturday afternoon, and the show goes on, even as the search for Travis Turner goes on, as well as the arch rival Ridgeview is set to come to town and play Union High School for the right to go to the state semifinals. And Union will do that with an interim head coach, as the search for their former head coach, Travis Turner, continues now, going on a week. It began last Thursday. Coming up at 5 o'clock, we'll continue to give you more developments. We'll talk a little bit about some of the preparations, conversations that I've had off camera with folks here around Big Stone Gap. Spent some time in Appalachia today, and really everyone is so very quiet as they wait to see how this all unfolds, as Travis Turner, the Union High School football coach, is still missing. He has those warrants, as Ansley mentioned, out for his arrest, and we'll just continue to follow the story every step of the way. Live in Big Stone Gap at Bullitt Park, Casey Marler, News Channel 11.
Missing Union High School head football coach Travis Turner now considered a fugitive. Virginia State Police announcing today 46-year-old Turner is wanted on 5 counts of possession of child porn and 5 counts of using a computer to solicit a minor. VSP added that more charges are possible. News 5's Liam Bridgman is standing by in Wise County with reaction from the community.
That's right, Rebecca. Today we spent a lot of time looking and talking with the community. We've also spent time looking around for law enforcement, and we can tell you there wasn't a huge law enforcement presence here today like there has been in the past few days, but we have heard from Virginia State Police that the area of focus is still Appalachia, Virginia. Around 10:45 a.m. this morning, Virginia State Police alerted us that they filed charges against Travis Turner. They also sent a video statement telling us more charges could be coming.
The investigation is ongoing and additional charges are pending.
The community here in Wise County has been on alert since Turner's disappearance, with many spreading rumors about the reasons for this manhunt. I spoke with Paula Barker, who says she's not acquainted with Turner on a personal level, but she's known him since high school.
I couldn't see him doing it, but if the charges they just put on him are true, then he needs to be brought to justice. If he did do it, he needs to turn himself in for the sake of the victims and for his family.
I also spoke with Dr. Alex Del Carmen, a criminology expert. He told me at this point of the search, there's a chance Turner may not be within a 30-mile radius of his last whereabouts. But he added law enforcement has many tools to help locate him, including cell phone tracking.
There are things going on, I promise you, Liam, that are not even readily available to the public, and people cannot even imagine what's going on behind the scenes that are taking place at the local, state, and federal level.
Now, we have heard from a few members within the community that some are trying to take matters into their own hands to try to find Turner on their own, but Virginia State Police urged us to let you know that should not occur, and that if you do see Turner at all, you're urged to contact Virginia State Police immediately and not to approach him. You can find their contact information on our homepage at WCYB.com. Now in Big Stone Gap, Liam Bridgman, News 5, WCYB.
All right, thank you very much, Liam. Now let's take a look back at the timeline of events in the Travis Turner case. On Friday, News 5 learned that a Wise County school staff member had been placed on paid leave. The school would not confirm who that staff member was at the time. We also learned on Friday that Virginia State Police tried to question Turner Thursday evening, but he apparently left his residence before they got there. At the time, VSP said they were not going to arrest him, but it was part of an investigation. VSP also confirming there was an active search in the Appalachia region of the county, though at that time they would not confirm it was related to Turner. Saturday, the search continued, and VSP did confirm they were in fact looking for Turner. On Sunday, VSP was in Wise County for a third straight day searching for Turner, and he was officially added to Virginia's state missing persons database. Which brings us to today. VSP announced they officially charged Travis Turner, and he is now considered a fugitive from justice. And we received a statement today from an attorney for the family, Adrian Collins. The statement reads, quote, "I speak today on behalf of Coach Turner's family. We remain prayerful for the safe return of him and for everyone affected by the circumstances surrounding his disappearance. We trust God to bring truth and clarity in his time. Any allegations should be addressed through the proper legal process, not through speculation or rumor. We ask the public and media to show compassion, accuracy, and respect for the family's privacy. No questions will be taken." Wise County Schools Superintendent releasing a statement also related to the charges filed against Travis Turner. Superintendent Mike Goforth says, quote, "Wise County Public Schools is aware that law enforcement has filed charges against a staff member who has been placed on administrative leave. The individual remains on leave and is not permitted on school property or to have contact with students. The division will continue to cooperate with law enforcement as this process moves forward. Because this is an active legal matter involving personnel, the division cannot comment further," end quote. Turner is now the second Union High School coach charged in 2 years for child sex-related crimes. In August of 2023, Timothy Lee Meter, who at the time was a teacher and coach, was indicted on 3 felony charges. According to the Commonwealth's attorney, Meter later pleaded guilty to 2 counts of indecent liberties with a child. Meter was sentenced to 5 years, 4 years, 9 months suspended, meaning he had to serve 1 year, 3 months.
Several new developments in the search for missing Union High School football coach Travis Turner. Virginia State Police announced today they have issued 10 warrants against him. It's our top story tonight. Good evening. I'm Sarah Diamond.
And I'm Casey Marlar. Turner now considered a fugitive. He was last seen Thursday. Then agents with state police went to his home as part of an investigation. While on the way, police said agents were told he was not there.
Well, now Turner is wanted on 5 counts of possession of child pornography and 5 counts of using a computer to solicit a minor. We've since received statements from Wise County Public Schools, Virginia State Police, and an attorney for the Turner family.
Questions have been raised regarding the process for releasing new information, as well as what is delayed from being released.
News Channel 11's Haley Pitcher takes a deep dive into what schools and law enforcement are and are not compelled to reveal to the public. Haley?
Thanks, Sarah. The search for Turner has left the community with many questions. Now, these answers may not be as simple as a public records request. I spoke with a Virginia attorney to define what matters in the case can be relayed to the public and where law enforcement and the school system can, for now, stay silent. The warrants regarding Turner are not required to be physically released due to an ongoing investigation. Former Commonwealth's attorney for Wise County, Chuck Slimp, says warrants can only be issued due to probable cause, as required by the Fourth Amendment.
Law enforcement has an opportunity to pursue criminal charges by taking the facts of the particular charge to a magistrate, and that magistrate will consider whether there are sufficient facts to issue a warrant for someone's arrest, and the sufficient facts would be proven by probable cause that a crime happened.
In Virginia, law enforcement is allowed to reveal as much or as little as they want regarding an active investigation. Slim says documents from an active investigation are not considered public records and cannot be requested for release until the case's conclusion.
Under the Virginia Freedom of Information Act, we prioritize the public release of information to the broadest extent possible, while also protecting the integrity of police investigations and prosecutions. And so what I mean by that is, under Virginia law, law enforcement active investigations are exempt from release under FOIA.
School systems in Virginia are subject to the Freedom of Information Act, but personnel matters are exempt. Slimp explains a personnel file includes pay stubs, length of employment, and even an individual's name.
Public records about someone's hiring date and firing date and any disciplinary actions or anything of that nature can be shielded from public release. Not can be, they must be shielded from public release because it is exempt from FOIA. And that's because the employee has a privacy concern.
Slimp adds these factors are all in place to balance public information with a fair trial.
We're in the information age and everybody expects to be able to know everything going on right now. Transparency is important, but so is preserving the integrity of a criminal case.
And Slimp also adds ongoing investigations involving personnel matters must also balance the public's right to know and an individual's right to privacy. Additionally, being named a fugitive does not change any matter related to an individual's privacy. Back to the desk.
Next up, I hope you guys will join me watching this. It's a little bit of lighthearted crime. It's an 80-year-old man that takes these police on the funniest chase I ever seen in my entire life. Please strike me dead, send me to hell for laughing at this, but at the end, the guy is absolutely adorable and lovable, and I can't believe they even arrested him for a fucking lawnmower. Like, let the dude go, he wouldn't have ran. It's funny. Please watch this shit with me. We'll chat in the chat section. Just, you're gonna piss your pants, I promise.
An elderly man in Ohio with warrants for his arrest is currently driving his lawnmower on the roadway. When officers attempt to pull him over, they get in the weirdest pursuit of their entire careers.
51. We're going to stop him. Oh, he's going around another unit left of center. Do you know what Southway?
Happy to know Southway.
51, is he continuing north?
Yeah, we're at the intersection right now. Yep, he's going eastbound. Eastbound on Southway, going about 4 mile an hour on the lawnmower, Toro. No license plate.
Happy on Southway, 4 miles an hour.
He just waved his hand as to wave me off.
13 to 50, what do you want to do? Hello, I'm westbound on Southway. I see him coming. Maybe we'll get lucky and he'll stop.
We're headed towards the construction zone. No traffic. Eastbound, Southway at Denmont. 9 to 10 mile an hour.
Copy, eastbound Southway at Denmont. 10 mile an hour.
He's going through a yard. He's going through 2 yards northbound.
Copy, northbound 2 yards.
He's continuing through yards. It looks like he's going to come out on Clark. Continuing north through other front yards, 3900 block at Clark. Headed towards Hazelbrook.
Copy, Jane 900 block of Clark towards Hazelbrook.
The suspect is currently still in the yards to the right. As these officers redirect themselves, another officer and former track star runner attempts to make contact.
I know. He's crazy. Back where you go. Dirty log of taser deployment. Continue east. Correction. Continue west. Continue west. And he's back out on the Clark, or not Clark. Headed to Hazelbrook. He's northbound towards the storage unit.
Looks like he may have turned around.
Little action in your neighborhood. He's going back east. He tried to run over 30. He's going back to Hazelbrook. You all right? Yeah.
The taser's not doing anything though.
He's got that thick coat on. Okay, we're going to terminate this. We know who he is. He's not going to stop. He's out of control. 30 tried to get him off the mower. He tried to run him over. Okay, we'll file charges.
The taser's ineffective because he has that big coat on.
Yeah. We'll just file felonious assault on him.
He had a thick jacket on, didn't even penetrate it. I lit him up. Bill lit him up.
That guy's out of control.
You're okay.
Yeah. You see me go for a ride?
He's in the backyard.
Is he stopped?
He's making a loop back out to Hazelbrook.
Okay, all units, stop chasing. He's not going to stop. We'll just file for warrants on him.
Some crazy guy trying to run over people on a mower. He tried to run over 30. He's going back to Hazelbrook. You all right? Yeah.
The taser's not doing anything though.
He's got that thick coat on.
Okay, we're going to terminate this. We know who he is. He's not going to stop. He's out of control.
30 tried to get him off the mower. He tried to run him over.
Okay, we'll file charges.
The taser's ineffective because he has that big coat on.
Yeah. We'll just file felonious assault on him.
He had a thick jacket on, didn't even penetrate it. I lit him up. Bill lit him up.
That guy's out of control.
You're okay.
Yeah. You see me go for a ride?
He's in the backyard.
Is he stopped?
He's making a loop back out to Hazelbrook.
Okay, all units, stop chasing. He's not going to stop. We'll just file for warrants on him.
Some crazy guy trying to run over people on a mower. Never know what you're going to see.
Over the course of the next day, the suspect was taken into custody for his original warrants that started this whole incident. He was then released on bond. However, due to officers filing new charges on him for his actions on the lawnmower, they need to take him into custody again, which won't go smoothly.
How we doing? Bill around?
Not yet, but he's supposed to be here shortly.
Who's he with?
I got my friend Miss Linda picking him up. He was down at the Sheets, so I asked her if she would go pick him up and bring him back. So they should be here like within the next 10 minutes.
Okay. What does she drive?
The Mazda SUV today. Just
Okay.
a silver Mazda SUV.
All right. I have that report to finish. I'm going to sit up here at the corner.
Okay.
Did you guys track down his stupid mower that he was evading yesterday on?
Yeah, we have his mower. Crazy Bill.
Oh, he's a nut.
I don't know why he does the things he does.
Well, I can explain that to you why he do it. Because he's old, he's senile, and he got a whole lot of dementia going on. He's got a whole lot of this, that, and the other going on with his wife stealing his money, moving to Thailand. He's just all stressed out. He's discombobulated.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what it is. I know that for a fact.
51, that's the vehicle right there, that silver one that just turned.
Come on!
Holding traffic. 30, I'm out.
All right, Bill.
All right, now what the hell you guys want?
Come on. Do you have any pocket knives or anything like that on you?
I got a machine gun.
You do? Do you have any pocket knives?
I got a weapon.
I don't have my gloves on. Just check them real quick.
Oh, Christ, I ain't got nothing. Oh, don't knock me over.
Come on back here, Bill.
That one.
Yep, this one right here.
You like to get
30, you
back
can
in the
log
car
on.
again?
Yeah, you're going to jail.
Why?
For yesterday. So what you got arrested for yesterday was for the warrants that you had already before that. And then what you're getting arrested for today is what you did yesterday.
Oh, come on. Driving a lawnmower.
All you had to do was stop.
Well, they charged me $600 the last time I stopped.
Well, now you're facing a bunch of charges.
They towed my lawnmower.
We did. You're right.
I didn't have $600 to mow the grass. What is there a law against driving a lawnmower?
Have a seat,
I'm
bud.
serious.
I'll put the windows down for you, okay?
Good idea. I'm getting arrested for what I did yesterday.
Yep.
If I know that, I wanted to come home.
I probably agree with that. You saw us there, that's why you turned down this way.
Huh?
I said you saw us there, that's why you guys turned down this
I
way.
figured you guys up to something no good.
I'd prefer not to deal with you, Bill, to be honest with you.
Well, if you crazy, I'm handicapped and older.
All right, Bill.
Don't look so
Come
sad.
on,
Smile.
What's that? Come on.
I said smile.
Come on.
Oh, I can't get my foot off one of the damn seats. You got a kind of a smidge for midgets back here. Look. Where's the dog? It's right there.
You don't see it?
It's invisible. 85 years old. You're 83. I was born in 1940. That's not good. Straight in there, Bill.
Imagine looking outside and thinking you're getting free landscaping, only to realize it's a police chase. Only in this job do you learn fast that people will use the weirdest and most unpredictable opportunities to try and get away from the police. And it's crazy because you can prep all day for the violence, felony stops, and all the tactical stuff, but nothing prepares you for a grown man deciding their getaway vehicle is a lawnmower that tops out at jogging speed. But that's the pure randomness in policing. One minute you're taking a missing persons report trying to piece together someone's last known location. The next minute you're behind a 70-something-year-old man going down the street like he's late for a barbecue. And when he doesn't stop, you realize this isn't a traffic stop anymore. This is a pursuit that's equal parts comedy, confusion, and I don't know. But remember, weird does not
Sub up to the channel, guys. Come on, we needed to laugh. It's good to laugh every now and again. I'm going to start pulling these out more often. Oh my God, I can't help it. He is an old man. Let him drive his damn lawnmower. What the hell's the matter with you chasing him? Look, I can't even walk. Did you see how long he had them on the chase for? Oh my God, he was spinning. They're like, oh, he's trying to run people over. No, just the 5-0 that's chasing him. There's like 6 of them bitches in the yard. I can't. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to hell. I'm going to hell. All right. Last thing I want to share is another missing person in Summer Wells and Sebastian Rogers area that nobody ever talks about. This is Kaitlyn, ABree, Leadbetter.
25-year-old Kaitlyn ABree Leadbetter vanished from her home on Turkeytown Road in Hillam, Tennessee, on May 2, 2021. After an argument, Kaitlyn was last seen leaving barefoot in pajamas, heading toward the woods. She left behind all her belongings, including her phone, which sent unusual messages that morning. Despite searches, Kaitlyn has never been found. The home later burned down, destroying possible evidence. Kaitlyn is 5 feet 2 inches, 160 pounds, blonde hair, blue eyes, with multiple tattoos. If you know anything, please call the Overton County Sheriff's Office at 931-823-5635. Missing person alert. 25-year-old Kaitlyn ABree Leadbetter vanished from her home on Turkeytown Road in Hillam, Tennessee, on May 2, 2021. After an argument, Kaitlyn was last seen leaving barefoot in pajamas, heading toward the woods. She left behind.
The disappearance of 26-year-old Kaitlyn Leadbetter is indeed a mystery. At the time, she was living on Turkeytown Road in Hillam, Tennessee, with her father, Scott Leadbetter, and his girlfriend, Crystal Tyson. Kaitlyn seemed to be a normal, quiet person. She had a job and a boyfriend. On May 2nd, 2021, at about 5:30 a.m., Scott Leadbetter claims that Kaitlyn and his girlfriend, Crystal, they got into a serious argument. So serious that Kaitlyn jumped out of her 5-foot-high bedroom window and disappeared into the woods. At the time, she was only wearing a crop top style t-shirt, pajama shorts, no shoes, and she left her cell phone behind. She didn't own a car at that time, and she has not been seen since that day. Let's look into the investigation. A week after she disappeared, the Overton County Sheriff's Department searched the woods with tracker dogs, and they noted the dogs ran the scent up to the edge of the road and then they lost the trail. They no longer believe that she's in the woods. There is sadly not much information if the police ever search the area again or even search her father's house. The new authority working on her case told the family they no longer had her text messages because the evidence had been lost, which in and of itself is nothing but frustration for the family. This case has another mystery to unfold. On August 2nd, 2021, firemen and police were dispatched to Scott Leadbetter's home because the home was on fire and they were told that a person was still in the house. The house was completely destroyed, and Scott's girlfriend, Crystal, was found dead in the basement at the time. This case has many turns and twists. As of the time of this video, there isn't much information regarding what the police have done so far in this case. Some people believe that Scott, her father, is responsible for both the disappearance of his daughter and the death of Crystal, but no cause of death has been released. The family believe the police have failed them. There really isn't much information out there to be found on Scott or the cause of the fire, or even on Kaitlyn herself. If anybody out there knows anything about her, please contact the authorities in the number below. Thank you. On a quiet spring afternoon in Kings Mountain, North Carolina, a very ordinary moment became something very haunting. Angela Jamarica Burns Burris, a woman known for her kindness and gentle spirit, was last seen sitting on the front porch of her home on Lake Montonia Road. She had with her a duffel bag at her feet, clutching a teddy bear and waiting. But waiting for what? Angela was waiting for someone, somebody, but who? A black passenger vehicle slowly approached. It could have been a Honda or maybe a Toyota, no one is sure. The driver, a black male with messy hair and a black goatee, watched her intently as she stood up and walked towards the car. With one last glance back at the home she shared with her mother and aunt, she climbed into the vehicle and vanished. That very day, a family friend saw her get into the car, but strangely, no one else did. Not her mother, not her aunts, and nobody else in the neighborhood. It was as if she slipped away unnoticed, right under the noses of those who loved her. And Angela was not heard or seen from again. The minutes became hours, hours became days, days turned into weeks, and worry turned into dread. On April 28th, Angela was officially reported missing. But why did she leave that day with nothing but a duffel bag of clothes and a teddy bear? Was she meeting someone she trusted? Or had she been lured away by a stranger under false pretenses? Her family is left with only questions, pain, confusion, and heartbreak. She left behind a daughter who had just started college, now facing the hard.
Please share that video, guys. I'm going to stop that there because I just wanted to go over the Leadbetter because it's closer to Summers area and Sebastian's, really closer to Sebastian's. I didn't know that other case was on that video. Where's Kaitlyn Leadbetter? Kaitlyn was last seen in the early hours, May 2nd, 2021, so right before Summer had gone missing, in Hillham, Tennessee. Search dogs traced her scent to the edge of the Turkeytown Road, but lost her scent. Several months later, in August, her father's house was destroyed in a fire, which killed his girlfriend that knew something. Please say something. You can even report anonymously at Crime Stoppers or contact the Overton County Sheriff's Office at 931-823-5635. I also plan to one day showcase this again if she's not found. And at that point, we'll go through the Facebook posts because that's where I seen this. And as you can see, this is probably a family member that posted it, that says they believe the stepmother knew something and that's why she was unalived. So that's concerning. Get her picture out there, share the post on my wall. And I'm going to go. I'll probably be back this evening with some more summer content. I'm going to cruise around and see what's been going on, see who's been live today. Watch my live from earlier this morning. It was a good one. Lots of connections for you guys. A little bit of Miss Linda and Glenda Head and Karen Renfro and Laura and Fred and a lot of explanation. No, I haven't. I never even heard of a Moonshine Girl. I'll look them up. All right, guys, I'm going to go. Peace and love. I'll see you this evening or this night, tonight at some point. Oh, and I hope you guys all had an amazing Thanksgiving here in America. And those that weren't, I hope your day was amazing. All right, guys. Peace and love. See you later. Bye.